Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we're going to go over the Lover's Path event. We're just going to talk about the point requirements, the different paths that we can take. It is part of the Ankora fusion, so it is unavoidable to most of us, unless you want to tournament. So let's go over that in detail, and we'll also talk about whether it's good or bad and what we can actually get out of it. So let's jump right into it. All right, so here it is, Lover's Path. We got 4 days to do it. The best thing about this is that it's here, but we also have a champion chase that's popping up in a day. So it gives us time to evaluate the champion chase together with this hero's path. So you don't have to rush into this Lover's Path or whatever right away. So I recommend to wait until the champion chase drops and then make your final decisions. But right now, let's jump into this and we'll get a preview of what's to come. So in the Lover's Path, it's going to be a Dungeon Diver event plus a training event together. I have a expanded version of this map. So let's go over that, but we'll quickly touch on this. So we have souls for Roto, Sifi, Venus, Cupidus, and then Cardio and Yumiko. If you guys are not participating in the fusion, definitely go for these souls. 2 stars are very good, especially for the nukers like Rhodos and Cupidus. 3 stars they're good for Yumiko and Cardio. They give the extra defense, but definitely go for them. They're definitely worth it. If you're going for the fusion, then there's going to be different options that you will have. So let's get into those. So I made up a little map here. So in the green, we have the 5 fragments. So you get the B line down to the 5 fragments. I believe this is the cheapest, and I believe it's actually the best because the gems here, 35 gems, is worth more than the 75 energy. Even though you just get some really crappy silver with it, it's still better. You also get a Moral Soulstone for half the price. And of course, you dodge the key. The coins are actually very valuable as well. So anyways, to get the 5 fragment, it's going to cost you 12,000 points. All right, so 12,000 points for the 5 fragments. If you're going for the 15 fragments in total, you're going to probably follow this red path. This red path is probably the fastest and cheapest way to get to the additional 10 fragments down here. This section is quite expensive. The total cost from start to end is 42,000. So this additional 10 fragments is actually 30,000 more. I mean, you're getting some higher quality rewards. The primals, the dust, the medium rock, very, very valuable stuff. But man, that is a big, hefty price for 10 more fragments. And then if you're going to whale out and go all the way down to the 5-star soul, it's going to cost you 102,000 total points. You know, Ankora is a good champion, even by herself without White King Narcissus. With Narcissus, but together they are very insane. But she is good by herself. Is she better with the 5-star blessing? 100% she is. 100% better for sure. Especially at the 5th star, she's going to get additional accuracy and resistance. And in her kit, I think accuracy is optional. She can be built without accuracy, but the 5-star does give her accuracy and resistance, which is obviously great for her. It's very expensive, but it's in line with what other big blessings cost in other events. If you have the resources, I'd probably say it is worthwhile investing in, because getting a 5-star soul from scratch when you need it is going to take you forever, unless you're heavy spender and you're just buying these soul stones just for the materials to buy the 5-star. Personally, what I'm going to do is, since I'm kind of low on resources, I'm going to most likely commit to the 5 fragments and then skip the 10 fragments and then complete the champion chase that is to come. With the chase completed, I have to complete the rest of the events and then I'll be all set for the fusion. However, I won't make my decision final until I see the champion chase tomorrow. It could be a terrible threshold for a champion chase tomorrow, and maybe the 10 extra fragments in this is more attractive. However, I find that unlikely because tomorrow's event actually will be paired up with two really nice events. So during the chase tomorrow, there's going to be a 2x summon event for ancient shards, so boosted chance. These are one of the most popular events for most people in raid, because ancient shards, you can get them readily, and then having boosted rates on them gives you a lot of epics. So I definitely recommend this event for anybody that's still progressing through the game, because it's going to give you a good amount of epics, and we know epics are good. They're cheaper on books, easier to, cheaper to build, and they generally, you get more of them, so you generally have a better roster with them. Also, at the same time, there's going to be a 10x summon event for Aislinn, the Stalwart, which is the new busted Bannerlord faction unity ability guy. He's super busted, super good with Taras and Marichka. I have Taras. I mean, at least that's something. So he might be very good for me, and I'm definitely interested in the 10x and participating with Sacred Shards, Ancient Shards only. So I don't know why Plarium is doing that, just to kind of like turn the screws a little bit, but they're only providing this boost on Ancients only, not Sacreds. So they're really wanting you to spend Ancient Shards, but Ancient Shards are also super high value for Champion Chase. So it's an efficient way to finish Champion Chase. So with that being said, I do have Ancient Shards, and I probably will spend them tomorrow to finish the chase and to try to pull for, legendaries or Aislinn. It's a long shot, but it's probably a decent shot since Aislinn's not in the pool right now or ever, currently, that we know of. We don't have any additional info. So I'm probably going to finish the chase instead of getting the additional 10 fragments in this path. Just because, like I said, it costs 42,000 points. It's pretty heavy. And in terms of point breakdown, so let's do the point breakdown here. Let's look at what we're getting here. So you can get points from leveling up champions, so training, or getting artifacts from farming. So there's two ways to do this. One, you do this in campaign. You can get small points plus leveling, or you can do this in dungeons and farm food. So right now we have Dragon Tournament. I use Theodore to farm food. So Theodore can do Dragon 8 with 4 food, 90 seconds, very quick. So I'm probably going to do that until Dragon's finished. There's also, sorry, I need to pull up that screenshot again. But there's also a super juicy 2x speed event for Dragon. So it's very easy to farm Dragon, to try to get points for this path event, because there's also a speed event going on for Dragon. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to invest energy into Dragon, and I'm going to farm food at the same time. However, I think you could definitely do this by farming in campaign. I think for the energy, you get way more levels, and you get a little bit of extra points from the gear that you pick up as well. I think campaign is probably the way to do this, but since the Dragon Tournament is going on right now, I'm probably going to start with Dragon. However, I do recommend, like I said, waiting for the chase before making your final decisions. In terms of what I think total energy cost will be for this, if you purely do this from just grinding dungeons without food, so just grinding dragon, let's say stage 10 without food, I basically put the average points that you will get at about 35 points. So yeah, if each run gives you about 35 points of dungeon item back, it's going to take you 342 runs without training, just dungeon runs, to get 12,000 points. So to get 5 fragments, it's gonna cost you 342 runs at 20 energy each. So that's gonna give you a total cost of 6,800 energy. This makes it more expensive than just traditional dungeon divers, like dungeon diver event. For example, the one that we just had, the dungeon diver, there was only 5 fragments available at 3,700 points, which generally costs about 5,000 energy. So this hero's path to do this straight up without training, just in dungeons, is very inefficient in terms of energy spend. You definitely want to be spending some time training up champions, or at least farming with training together. So that's just a rough guess on my part of how to tackle this. Obviously, I haven't done like a super deep dive into the math, but to me, you definitely have to come up with more efficient ways of doing it. You cannot just farm dungeons and try to complete this. You have to try to do training as well, whether it be campaign, brews, or farming dungeons with food. Lastly, let's go over the schedule as of today real quick here. So something interesting that we can take advantage of as well is that the Ice Golem tournament overlaps with this Path event. The Path event, like I said, is a 4-day event. So if you think about a 4-day dungeon diver event, 6,800 energy for 5 fragments is probably acceptable-ish. It still feels kind of expensive, but because you have ways of making it more efficient by doing training, then maybe it's more acceptable. Definitely don't do it by just doing dungeons, like I said, but we start with Dragon, with the Hero's Path, and then we actually end with Ice Golem. So both of these dungeons are really good for with food. You can find solo champions and do them with food. Theodore is one that comes to mind. Tomb Lord is one that can also do lower difficulties. Ice Golem, you have Artak, you can do 9 with 4 food. So definitely consider those champions. I think this hero path is doable because it's longer. It spans multiple events, which is good because you can manage your energy properly. So manage your energy to put into Dragon first, finish Dragon, and then transition to Ice Golem, and then obviously mix in some days where you just focus on tavern training. So I think the hero's path is actually doable, and it allows you to skip 10 fragments. So you're probably going to skip the 10 fragments in the hero's path unless you're really short on shards for champion chase. Then in which case, if you have energy, then you're going to do the path instead of pulling shards. So I have 113 ancients. It is what it is. I probably will rip some tomorrow, maybe. I want to try not to. I'm going to pull Fatalis tomorrow. He's going to give me a small rebate on my investment, 650 since he's a void. But I'll pull some ancients tomorrow and we'll see what's up. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully it was informative, and hopefully it helped you guys out make some decisions and stuff. Like I said, wait till the chase pops tomorrow before you make your final decisions, before you invest serious energy. The path is not going anywhere for 4 days. Everything looks pretty set for the next couple of days. And yeah. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this lover's path, what you guys are going for, and yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next video.